Hello, everyone, and we are back, and it is Derby Day, and is it the biggest derby? Manchester United versus Man City. Let's find out, guys. Everyone, welcome to the channel. And with the theme song, Take Me Home. And what's happening is Manchester United versus Manchester City. And we are at home this time. So hopefully we'll get a better result against Manchester City. But as always, welcome on Monday, sir. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm great. Thanks. Had a really productive day at work. And I'm really looking forward to the show. And Nobbins is back. Made a good impression on the Man United agenda last time, even though he beat us up. Hopefully we can get some revenge this time.
Yeah, the nice thing about Nobbins when he came on, he was very sort of, you know, how can I say it? He didn't sort of go at us or anything like that. He's very well spoken and he came across very well. That's why you back Nobbins, to be fair. So yeah, welcome back. Pat, sir, how are you doing?
I'm good, guys. I'm good. I'm looking forward to this game the weekend. It's always a little bit of hope for us in a derby. Anybody can win on the day. And we're in better form than we were the last time. So I'm hoping now Nobbins is going to tell us the strengths and weaknesses of this Manchester City team at the moment and give us a little bit of hope that we're gonna prey on them. So let's get going.
Nobbins, welcome back to the channel, sir. I know what Pat said there on a Monday as well. We're hoping you can give us some secrets, some tips on how to beat Manchester City.
I'll see what I can do. I'll see what I can do.
I'll get Eric Ten Hag on the phone here. Get him on. Get him on.
And thank you for having me on again.
You're more than welcome, sir. Absolutely more than welcome. So yeah, on Monday I had a productive day. I went on my little run and had a phone call from a Monday, and I was out of breath. I was puffing, and I was almost on Monday said, "Yeah, what's the show's like tonight?" I said, "Listen, come on. If you want to come on. Don't worry about it. It's all right." And I just put my watch down, carry on running. But it's always great, sort of, you know, to be on a Thursday night talking football with these great people. So guys, whoever is in the chat, make sure you give us a like, share, and a subscribe as well. And there is a poll going as well. Can actually Manchester United beat Manchester City? Get involved as well. We won't ask Nobbins, can Man United beat them? Because we know what the answer is going to be anyway. But guys, let's start off with our sponsorship. First things first, on Monday, please.
Yeah, as you know, we're sponsored by GMS, that's Global Mapping Surveys, and they assist architects, property developers, and construction companies all over the country. They offer a wide range of services such as setting out topographical surveys, 3D laser scanning, and I'm not very good at this, and monitoring. I'm reading from my phone. Yeah, so big up to GMS, Global Mapping Surveys, and big up to Adam as well, who runs the ship.
Thank you so much for that. So let's kickstart what we're going to be discussing today, guys, and make sure you get involved as well. So the intro is there. We introduce each other, and there is a gentleman called Tyrone Williams is joining us. But let's see. Listen, Tyrone's here. So as a part of the introduction, let's see where Tyrone is. Is Tyrone settled? It looks very dark where Tyrone is, to be honest with you. Let's see where Tyrone is. Should we add him onto the stream, guys? Should we give him a go?
We'll give him a chance.
Tyrone, could you flip your camera around a little bit, please? You're very dark out there. It's you know, you got that light underneath. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you. You might need to put your camera on landscape. Is it landscape?
Landscape, yeah.
Okay, 1 second.
Okay, so Tyrone's here.
It's on go.
No, it's not landscape. It's not landscape. It's definitely like landscape. Tyrone, we might have to drop you off the stream in a minute because you need to be gone. Can you hear us?
All right, no problem. Give me a second.
Yeah, cool. Sorry about that, everyone. Let's go now with what we're talking about. Man United classic games, and let's kickstart with Nobbins. Man United classic. There's always great games where you can go back. There's a couple of games I can name you more games for Man United than I can name more negative game against Manchester United. Positive. What's one of your main games there, Nobbins? One of your classics.
In respect of Derby days. I mean, you could go for the more recent ones. You could go for the the cheeky 6-1 at Old Trafford.
Oh, Nobbins, come on, we got to cut him. Cut him, everyone. Cut him.
Put him out with Tyrone. Put him out with Tyrone.
But I was going to talk about a different one, a bit of a throwback. I believe it was the last derby at City's old ground, Main Road. It's a very, very iconic match for City fans, where Gary Neville, not past his best by any means, but made a very uncharacteristic error. Sean Gota picked his pocket and finished expertly well in that one. So in terms of classic moments from a different era, closer to the shirt I'm wearing, actually, I'd definitely go for that one.
Yeah. On Monday. And what's your sort of nightmare moment against Manchester United?
Against Manchester United.
Against sorry, Nobbins, against you guys. What was your nightmare against sort of like playing against United?
I mean, we might be talking about this game, but it's just that I think in terms of like an individual moment, it probably is that Wayne Rooney goal, that overhead, because sadly, I think that got voted Premier League goal of the decade or something as well. So it's constantly, and there was like a season or two when the Premier League was being shown on Sky, and like every single pre-match, it always ended on that Rooney overhead. I think that's like, stop showing that. Michael Richards being made to look like a right mug in defending that. So I think it's got to be that one because there's nothing you can. I think it's an indefensible goal. It's just perfect, and that makes it more annoying because of how brilliant it is.
Yeah. Let's go. Go, Pat. Pat, let's go. Iconic moments, Pat. Come on.
It's not iconic, but it's one that we'll never forget. It was the 6-1 when we got trashed by City, and Mario Balotelli took the t-shirt up over his head with the t-shirt, and then they said, "Why always me?" Now, he will be remembered for that. He'll be remembered for that 4-1 off in his bathroom as well, and he'll be remembered for being a bit of an empty head. But it was a funny thing to do, and it probably one of his finest moments at Man City. It was.
Yeah, wasn't that as well when he set the fireworks off or something like in a hotel or room?
No, it was his bathroom in his own
bathroom.
house.
Yeah.
But then he got made an advocate for safety on bonfire night. And that iconic thing of him holding a thing, say, "Guys, be safe on the 5th of November."
Absolutely brilliant. Monday, your most iconic moments as well, and probably one of the worst, I would say.
Look, when I remember going back to Main Road, and I remember us losing, I think it was 5-1, but Mark Hughes scored that beautiful goal. I love that goal. I still go back and see how he defies gravity to stay up there, and boom! You know what he's like. Mark Hughes has got a great array of goals, but he's one of my favourite players of all time. And despite losing that game, and it's a bit embarrassing to lose like that at that time to City, I love that goal. I watch that over and over again. And City can put it on you. At those times, we were the big kings. The City was red, and City were just like some punk team that ended up getting relegated and going down the divisions, you know. But now I'm really fearful. I mean, for the last decade or so, they've outplayed us. Even when we've beaten them, they've outplayed us. You look at the Michael Owen goal, that last-minute goal. Michael Owen, really good finisher. Michael Owen's a quality finisher. 1-on-1. Throughout his career, he's been great. That's something that never left him. I think he lost his pace, but he's always a good finisher. He was a natural. So I remember that finish. That was great. But I always remember they've outplayed us, and they've always been kind of the better team. So for us to beat them, which we have beaten them a couple of times over recent years, I still don't feel it's like a beating. It's more like, phew, we got out of this one all right. But yeah, going back, Mark Hughes at Main Road. We lost that game, but that was a winning goal, man. I love that goal.
One of my iconic ones, Amandi, was the Michael Owen goal, because I was still living in Watford at the time, and I was in a small bar called Dunning's just down at the bottom of the high street, and I remember being in. Yeah.
Wait for it. I've got a story about that one as well.
Right,
where I was.
We were in Dunning's, right, and I remember being in there, and we were sick the whole game, and it was full of Liverpool supporters. Because I don't know if you guys know, the majority of Ireland is riddled with Liverpool supporters. No matter where you go, and they support anybody but United. And I remember being in that bar, and they scolded us for that whole game. And when Michael Owen scored, I was just like a release of frustration. I jumped up on the table, I ran across the chairs, I was knocking drinks over, and the next exit I got was out the back door. They threw me out.
Oh, no.
They wouldn't let me back in.
So, Pat, you know where I was that goal, when that goal was scored?
No.
I had my headphones in. I was listening to the radio. I was by the Pyramid in Watford.
No way.
Yes,
No way.
I was there. I was literally at the Pyramid in Watford, waiting for the 142 bus to turn up, and Cheese and Onion scored the goal, and I went absolutely mad. Outside, there was like so many people watching me as well. When I was going around going, yeah, like running around like the Pyramid, literally going absolutely crazy because they dominated us the whole game.
Oh, killed us.
And then literally came up trumps. But for me, I think one of the worst games for us is there's a couple. There's one chop and there is Sean Goater. I think Sean Goater will live down in memory. I think was it that hat-trick he scored against us, where he literally absolutely caned us. It was devastating, that loss we did. And at the time, City, we look at City, and City, you know, not even a mid-table club or anything like that, and he absolutely destroyed us. But then the tides turned. Man City came up, got promoted in the Premier League now. My most iconic moment, I've got to say, is the Wayne Rooney overhead kick. Always will be when it comes to that game. Never fails us. So Nubbins, every time you come on the channel, all we're going to say to you, the Wayne Rooney header to give you nightmares.
I might not come back if that's going to be the case.
Oh, but absolutely brilliant. Right, Amanda, would you mind going through some of the comments, and then we're going to move on to the next section, please?
Yeah, there's loads of comments about iconic moments. We come to that in a sec. Eddie Football Waffle, go and check out his channel. Fantastic. King's Football Show as well. Go and check out him. Saying big up to everybody. Hi to Bill Badger, Adil as well. How you doing, man? You got Ed Ender. You were here the other day, weren't you? And they said come on to the new Man United channel. Big up Jay Motti for shouting you guys out regularly from the Irish Reds and Ten Hag Lover. Big up to you.
Big up, Ender.
Go on.
No respect to Ender.
Yeah, we can beat anyone, says Stumpy Candle Top. We certainly can. All the way from sunny Jamaica. Jordan saying, you guys better beat Man City. All right, no pressure.
Liverpool, he's a Liverpool fan, isn't he?
Matthew Bassett is saying Casemiro is going to clap City's midfield. We hope so. Colin saying here, big up guys, got a feeling it's going to be a cracker. And United to come out on top. We get an update about Fulham beating Chelsea as well from Matthew Bassett.
No.
Fox is saying the city is yours. 20,000 empty seats. You know. Question saying here, Weghorn going to be involved in City game is asking. We're trying to maybe rush that through. Man United going to get you clapping this Saturday. Sorry. And Rebels here saying OMONDI double jobbing tonight. Yes, I'm doing overtime. Eddie says, here we go with the iconic moments though. You guys remember Rooney overhead, says Eddie Football Waffle, the Derby best shin guard. He obviously caught that with his shins like Nunes did the other day with that lovely finish. And Colin saying one moment it will always be remembered will be the 4-3 win with Owen scoring the winner. We did mention that. That's a lovely goal. Rebels saying don't forget the Ginger Prince coming out of retirement and scoring against them. That'll be Paul Scholes. Yeah. Owen, that was the commentator's chance. Be like William said, Aguero when they picked us to the season title. And the same, my third favourite moment was RVP, that's Robin Van Persie season, when he came back to give Fergie positive last season. He deserved, the man was class that season, especially the body against Villa from the Rooney pass. That was amazing, wasn't it? Eddie's bigging us up. He's saying his 19 likes. Keep hitting it, guys. So come on, guys, press the like button for us. Here we go. I love this one. Bill Badger is going way back. He says, Kanchelski's hat-trick, 5-0. You remember that, guys? This for the oldies here. And oh no. To balance it out, there was a back heel that got us relegated. But really, I think I don't think it was game. We
have gone down anyway.
We would have got relegated anyway or something. But that was disgusting. And Adil saying 1-0 to United and Derby. Adil, you should know the drill by now. We do the predictions at the end of the show. So I'll come back to that later.
You got Vincent as well.
Vincent, how you doing, man? Big up, and everyone.
And have we got UK in the building? Strange.
UK Strange, how you doing? Of course, we can beat City on Saturday. Come on, United, yes.
Yeah. So we're saying about opposition. I'm going to class it as like the team news for Manchester United and Man City. So, Nubbins, what sort of your injury list is looking like, and what is your squad at the moment looking like going to this game?
So I think City are looking relatively healthy. I believe that Stones has picked up a slight knock, so I doubt he'll be involved. Diaz picked up an injury in the World Cup. He hasn't featured yet following the World Cup, so I believe those are the only key injuries for City. But thankfully, City have 5 competent first-team centre-halves, so I don't see that being that much of an issue. Laporte will be fit, and Akanji will be fit, and Ake will be fit. So in terms of team selection, it should basically be a full strength City side on Saturday, which is great news, obviously, because City haven't been playing that well recently. So we do need to be at full strength ideally.
Quick one before I go to the United guys. Nathan Ake obviously came from Bournemouth. It was a surprise you guys signed him, to be honest with you. I liked him as a player, but going to Man City, it's like the first couple of years, it seems like it was a lot of pressure, but all of a sudden now he's coming and finding form. Why do you think it took him so long to find his feet at City?
Yeah, so it raised a very good point. I think we signed him for over £40 million, which is a lot for a defender that just got relegated. You think he'd be able to do a better negotiation strategy there with a team that's just got relegated, but clearly not. I thought he was overpriced. I didn't think he was that good. I remember, I believe it was against Leicester where we lost in the Charity Shield and we lost to a penalty. Ake gave away the penalty, and I was like, well, this is a waste of money. Why have we done this? And he did struggle earlier on. You're absolutely right. But lots of players do take a long time to get adjusted to life at City and the way we play. It's very Bournemouth play a very different style of football to how City play, obviously. And this season, he's been City's best defender, to be honest, whether that's at centre half or at left back. And I'm so happy for him that he's playing really well now. And even at the World Cup, I've seen a lot of Dutch fans say that they thought Ake was their best player at the World Cup. So he's been genuinely brilliant. And the fact that he can play centre half and left back when we're having a bit of a left back crisis is huge for City.
Yeah. One more. I know. Sorry, OMONDI and Pat, but I've got these things, I'm reeling them off now.
Have Eric listening here. Eric,
yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
So what it is as well, it seems like Jack Grealish and Pep Guardiola don't really see eye to eye at all because of the comments. He said he found it he looked at the transition from Villa to City and he said it's very difficult. He didn't realize how hard it was to come to City. And then Pep Guardiola was like, well, no, I don't think it's hard. But is it sort of where Pep Guardiola trying to get a fine tune out of him, but Jack Grealish, obviously over the years, he's used to away and he's not ready for changes to change his mentality of how Man City is working?
Yeah, so I don't read that situation as a sort of falling out or anything. I read that as Jack Grealish is a very honest and open man. I don't know if you see like some of his interviews this season, for example, but he's incredibly straight talking and will just speak his mind. Whereas I think Guardiola is it's not necessarily lying there, but I think that he's not being entirely honest because I don't think that you can point to any City winger under Guardiola who performed as you would have expected them to have performed in their first season. Sterling struggled in his first season and then became a PFA Player of the Year runner-up. Mahrez struggled in his first season, did very well second season. Leroy Sané struggled first season, second season was PFA Young Player of the Year. You can throw in Cancelo into that as well. There are countless examples of this happening, and I think it's happening with Grealish as well. Last season, he was all right, but he wasn't great. This season, he has been good for City. It is very different how Villa play. In fact, if you just want to go look at like an Aston Villa heat map for Jack Grealish, he's literally everywhere on the pitch because he's given the license to do whatever he wants. He's the star man, he's the talisman. Which Pep Guardiola says, no, very rigid. You've got to stay wide. You've got to stay on the left. That this is your role. This is what you will do. So I think that Grealish is right. I think for most players it is very hard. We've seen that has happened with basically everyone else in the similar position. And I think that Guardiola maybe not being totally honest, but also I think maybe it's second nature to him because of he was brought up under Johan Cruyff at Barcelona. So to him it'll be second nature. As Grealish, it'll be a baptism of fire in a way.
Oh, thank you very much. That's very, very good. Thank you there, Navid. Let's go to OMONDI now. Obviously, we spoke a little bit about Jack Grealish. Let's go to our guy himself. And some reports have come out today. I don't know if you guys have seen it regarding the whole transfer of Antony. And what they're trying to say is that Manchester United seems like they've overpaid for Antony. Now, OMONDI, let's talk about him. Seems like it was someone Ten Hag wanted in the team. He's come in, and to be honest with you, I think he's done okay. I don't think he's set the world alight yet, but it's like what Nobin said, it does take time for some players to get sort of into a routine and a rhythm to sort of get better and better. But one thing I've got to say, every goal he scored, they're very good goals.
Yeah, it's a typical kind of goal. This is what you expect from someone who's left-footed, who cuts in from onto his left foot, and he's got a great delivery. He can always slot it top bins, and you've seen that many times this season. And he's also been played in a couple of times when we scored against Arsenal, and adjusted his body and just slotted into the corner. So you're starting to see how you can get the best out of this young man. He's 22 years old, coming in, different language, learning. He's learning Dutch. Being playing for Ajax, it's a different league. It's a faster, more physical league. And I think what happens with the Premiership after a couple of weeks, people do their data on you and they try to neutralise you. And I think he's having to step it up again. There's levels he has to sort of get to. And as Nobbins was saying there about the City wingers taking some time to adjust and to the system for one, to the culture, the Premiership, all these different factors they have to sort of adjust to. And I think the same applies for Sancho and Anthony. These are two guys who I call wide playmakers, similar to Jack Grealish, who sort of need to understand the system. They're learning something here. It's not just about that. You have to go home, do your homework, and understand where you're supposed to be positioned. It's not just about going there, playing five-a-side, doing a run and training, and then playing a little seven-a-side thing. They have to do their homework and understand where I have to be each time. We complain for so long that Ollie Solskjaer would sit there because he didn't know what he's doing. But now we've got our manager standing on the touchline, dictating to people where they need to be, reinforcing it over and over again. And even though he's worked with Anthony before, it's not just that. The players have to learn how to play with Anthony to get the best out of him. You don't just give Anthony the ball expecting to burst down the wing and beat players and do all kinds of madness like Pele and escape to victory, do this, I do that, whatever. He's not going to do that. You got to bring him into play. As I was saying the other day, I feel like I'm repeating myself. He gets the ball, squares people up. He wants the teammate to play pinball off, pop it into feet and give and go, that sort of thing. Play triangles around people or third man runs. That's how we're going to open teams up. And that's how Ten Hag is playing. It will come eventually. And we see it. And obviously we're playing crosses, which, as I say the other day, from the half spaces. We deliver crosses from the half spaces, or in Anthony's case, he will shoot from the half space and score like he did the other day. So Anthony is a work in progress. We have to be patient with him. Forget the price tag and all that kind of thing. We're building something special here. So people are coming in who fit the system, as with our new striker coming in from Burnley, of all places. And so people say, oh, he's not good enough, he's from Burnley, whatever. If he fits the system, that's perfect for us. And Anthony will improve from this. Bruno will improve from having a player like this, someone who holds on the ball and takes a lot of pressure off as well. So, and let's calm down, everybody. As I said the other day, Mahrez for me is the best player on the right. Forget Salah, I think he's a different sort of player, but the most similar player to Anthony, and that's his measuring stick. Someone, if you can get to that sort of level where Mahrez has won league with Leicester, been consistently playing well with Man City, one-on-one, he's unstoppable. He's got good first touch. He can drive, kind of, and then he's now used to his teammates. You get the best out of him. People around Europe are marveling about how good this guy is. So I think Anthony can get to that level. He just needs to put his head down and be professional and get rid of the culture.
Yeah. Ty is in the building. So Pat, let's go to you first. Again, same question with the Anthony one. I know Rebel have said that apparently Anthony costs the price and stuff like that for Anthony. Every player is overpriced at the moment. So did Box as well. But with Anthony, it's, I believe, as a United fan base, we are giving him the opportunity, aren't we? We are giving, we're trusting the manager.
Yeah, but you just have to be patient. Like, it doesn't matter whether it's Anthony, Luke Shaw, Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Me and every other Manchester United fan was guilty last year of slating players and saying, geez, he's not good enough, he needs to go, we need to replace him. And certain individuals are coming back into our squad now, and they're proving us wrong because they're playing into a system. You were speaking about Jack Grealish there a minute ago, and exactly what Nobbins says. The fella had the free role. He got to be the Villa superstar and run all over the pitch as much as he wanted. Now he's coming into a Manchester City midfield where, don't get me wrong, the press are trying to pick holes at Jack Grealish, trying to find, is he the weakest link? He's the most expensive. Try and find the problem. And it wouldn't be hard to find the problem with a player in the Man City midfield, because you've got such superstars who are flawless. De Bruyne, Gundogan, Foden. The list goes on, and all Jack Grealish has to do is make one mistake and they blow it completely out of proportion. He just needs time. The same way Jadon Sancho needs time in Manchester United. Anthony needs time in Manchester United. He came on the scene. He showed us his flares. He's a monster in the half space where he gets all his goals. As OMONDI says, out on the left-hand side, they're pinging them triangle balls amongst 3 players, and other teams cannot handle it. And I've liked the way Aaron Wan-Bissaka has came into the fold there recently and playing with Anthony, which is actually improving because Anthony's getting a little bit further up the pitch. I think the load's a little bit tired since he came back from the World Cup. But just like everything else, these people have to be, Manchester United fans, Man City fans, whatever you read, whatever you hear, be patient with your players because they will come good, and have faith in your managers.
Thank you. Right, Tyrone has joined the building. So Tyrone, we're going to throw some questions. Welcome. And that is a Roy Keane. Is that the Roy Keane?
95.
Pardon?
I say it's about
No,
midnight.
it's the, I'm not too sure. I think it's 1993, isn't it?
It's
Maybe I'm wrong.
remember,
91,
I'm pretty
92?
certain Paul Ince and Roy Keane played in that shirt.
Yeah.
FA
yeah.
Cup against Chelsea 94.
I think it was 94, 95 with the blue and white jersey, wasn't it?
Yes, I believe it was.
It's one of
I
the
remember
it's one of the
badge.
retro ones.
Yeah, I remember the badge. I do remember the badge. There you go, Box 95, 96. There you go. Box knows it, and Box does know stuff. So we're talking about opposition, and we're talking about plays, and we're talking about Man United plays right now, Tyrone. So what we're discussing at the moment is about the impact of what Anthony having, because the media seems to believe that the Man United overpaid for him, but because we're going in and it's a derby day as well, going in with him, do you think he could be the hero at for Manchester United?
He could be the hero, but if he's not the hero, we shouldn't get on his back because it's his first season. He's still adjusting to Premier League football, and he's come over from Ajax, so it's going to take him time. I don't know why everyone expects him to hit the ground running straight away. I think he's a victim of his own success because he started quite well when he first joined. He scored a couple goals when he first started. But I've got faith in him, and I've got faith in Ten Hag to get the best out of him. Just got to give him a season to get used to it.
Yeah, and since I'm going to go to you now, and then I'm going to go to Nobbin. Since we lost against Man City, we've gone on a fantastic record of winning games. Is this something now you can see Man United? Obviously, we've got a tough game against Man City. I saw something today saying if we beat Man City and I think Tottenham beat Arsenal, technically speaking, by the time Arsenal and Man City play the last game, United could probably be top of the league.
Yeah. To be honest with you, I'd just be happy with top 4 at the moment. The thing with Ten Hag is I'm just really happy with the way we're playing football at the moment. Anything else is just a bonus. I'll just be happy with Champions League football. Ten Hag needs to be given a chance. I don't want us to be thinking about title races just yet. He still needs to get a few more of his players in. I think the summer's going to allow him to bring a couple more players in. I still think we need another midfielder. And we need another DM for when Casemiro gets injured. So. But I'm really happy with how it's going, to be honest, boys. I ain't got no complaint. I used to be the most negative Man United fan there was. Like, this is the first time I've been positive since Alex Ferguson retired. So I'm really happy at that moment.
Oh, brilliant. Nubbins, obviously, like I just said there, if United did you expect United to be where they are in the league now? From where we were after we lost to you guys?
No, definitely not. I believe that I might be getting this wrong, but I believe that Ten Hag started his Manchester United managerial career with the worst record of any United manager in history or something, and now he's got the best in history after 20 games or something. So I don't think anyone really could have predicted the turnaround. I certainly didn't before the start of the season. I believe I predicted United to finish in 6th place. And now it does seem that they are going to be probably finishing in the top 4. So there has been a big turnaround in Manchester United's fortunes and the way they've played. But that's all about to change on Saturday when City beat them. But yes, I have been, in all seriousness, I've been very impressed with Ten Hag, to be fair. When he was appointed manager of United, I did predict him to fail long term, but that wasn't due to any failing of Ten Hag. It was more to do with the structure and ownership of United. I think that Ten Hag is could be the right man for United under the right ownership and leadership structure, if that makes sense.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it does. Yeah, thank you. Oh, there, Nobbins telling us that Man United are going to lose on Saturday. How could he?
You have to be fair to Nobbins. We're after being going for nearly 33 minutes, and he hasn't spoke about that man machine, Erling Haaland yet.
Oh, come on, Pat, man. Why would you go there?
He has to speak about him because, listen, we haven't seen a player like this in the league since Ruud van Nistelrooy. So I want to know, how excited are you? How long do you think he's going to stay? And is he the future of Man City?
No, definitely. I can give you the answer before I go to him. Hold on, sorry. Let's take you off here. I can give you the answer already, but I'll let Nobbins answer it, and then I'll give you what I think what's going to happen, because I honestly think he's got a prenup contract signed with Real Madrid already.
So what's the question? Just what are my thoughts on Haaland and how excited I am about him and whatnot?
Yeah, the addition of him.
Yeah, so I think when it was like first announced, it was the most excited I've ever been for a signing since Aguero in 2011. To be honest, never felt the same way about a player, because City have always been after this Hollywood player, this superstar player. You might say De Bruyne is that, and he probably is. But in terms of like a superstar player, you think I'm talking about Messi, Ronaldo, Mbappe, that sort of player, and now City have one, and that is Erling Haaland, and he's just. I thought he was going to do good this season. I didn't think he was going to hit the ground running like this. It's just absolutely insane what he's done. I do think that bar, I don't know, some outrageously poor run of form from City, or bar like a horrendous injury, I think that Haaland in his first season will break Andy Cole and Shearer's Premier League goal scoring record in terms of goals in a single season, which was 34. The people who say Salah have the record, they're wrong. It's actually Andy Cole and Alan Shearer with 34. So I think he will break that this season, as I say, if he stays fit. And I think that we might get into City's form later in the stream, but I think that Haaland's goals are almost masking some pretty average performances from City, to be honest. So I think the fact we've got him is absolutely huge, and I really hope he does. I think Pat asked how long do I think he's going to stay. I think at least 5 years. I'd love to say 10. As I understand it, he has a release clause which will activate in 3 or 4 years for a reasonable amount. So the question mark will be, are City, genuinely still competing for league titles and Champions Leagues at that point? And City have got to give Haaland no reason to want to leave. Because just because there's a release clause doesn't mean the player will leave. At the end of the day, it's the player's decision. So you'd like to think the family connection, the fact that he clearly loves the club. Like, I just love the way he celebrates his goals and everything. So hopefully he stays for 10 years. If he does, he'll break Shearer's record, I think. More realistic, I think he'll be here for 5 years.
Yeah. I saw as well what you're saying there, Nobbins, as well. When there was a video they played just before he signed for you guys, and I think Dortmund played City in the Champions League, and he came out, he put his hand on whatever iconic part there is and sit on your ground and hit it, and he said, "Oh, this is beautiful. I love it. I would love to come and play it one day."
Yeah.
And it just showed where he was going before, everyone was saying Man United, he was going to go here, he was going to go there, and he turned up at City. But for me, he's a fantastic player, and I think he's going to break loads of records. I don't know whether or not he will be here long enough though to break the their share record, because that depends on City. If City win ambition and Champions League, I think for the ambition, you don't win Champions League. You can win as many leagues as you can, but I think the ultimate goal for him as a player is going to be a Champions League.
100%, yeah, I definitely agree. City have to give him no reason to want to leave, basically, because everyone, well, there's only a couple of clubs that will be able to afford him, but Real Madrid will always be competing for Champions Leagues, for example. You think Barca in 5 years have probably sorted themselves out. Bayern Munich will always be there or thereabouts. They've got a habit of signing old Dortmund players. Yes, as I say, City have got to make sure that they sell the project to Haaland as this is the best place to be under the best manager at a club your dad used to play for. It's a club you clearly are a fan of and love. Because Haaland basically can go to anywhere he wants, essentially.
Yeah, thank you. We're going to just wrap up with this one. On Monday, people in the comment, on Monday, Haaland at City. how would we have loved to sign him?
No, I think Haaland's made the right choice going to City, because you want to go as a striker, you want to score goals. That's the main thing. And there's so many cutbacks that they have. I mean, they play football in your 6-yard box, popping it around. You get wearing teams out, and there's so many opportunities there. And I love the little cutbacks they make, which is just like on a plate. Even you, Errol, could score goals from that range, you know. So I just think he's going to get fed. He keeps getting spoon fed, and he's going to. This record is quite possible. I think Andy Cole was those times they're playing 42 games, maybe. I think that someone can confirm. And Bill Badger, what do you know about that? 34 goals, was that in 42 games back then for Newcastle? I'm not sure, but still, there's a lot of goals to score in the Premiership, and it's proven over the years. You know, no matter how many great strikers have been in the league, it's very hard to get over 30 goals in a season. I know Luis Suarez done really well one season. Well, I thought that is magical when he played for Liverpool. But Haaland, yeah, great player. As a centre back myself, you don't want someone who's physically stronger than you. You don't want someone who's quicker than you. You don't want someone who's got mentals on you, who you can't phase. He's got great mentals as well. He's obsessed with scoring goals. He's an all-round player. He's a myth. He was a myth to me until he came to the Premiership. And I think it's a great move for him coming to a side like City where he's going to get fed all day. I mean, if you look at the menu that they're supplying you with Mahrez, De Bruyne, Phil Foden, you got Alvarez, you got just beautiful play and players around you. And he must be lapping it up right now. His belly must be full of goals and match balls as well when he takes them home after he gets hat-tricks after hat-trick. And obviously we know firsthand what he did to us in the game. He scored a hat-trick, didn't he, against us? And his movement, you know, you think a guy that big would just be static, but his subtle movements in the box is fantastic. He makes it. One good thing is he's like Juggernaut. Once he goes, you ain't stopping this guy. He's running through you right and brick walls. So fantastic player, and pick the best team to go to where he's going to really, his record's going to, the goal tally is going to just not going to stop. He's a goal a game guy, which is very rare up until Ronaldo and Messi recently, but he's doing it from a younger age, and he's fantastic.
And we're going to go Tyrone, because Pat, you put the question out there, so I'm not coming to you because you ruined my plan. I didn't want to talk about him. Tyrone Haaland, man. Armando just said he believed he made the right choice going to Man City. What effect have you think seeing Haaland's done? Because I know this whole thing where the number 9 left, there's no such thing as sort of like the number 9 anymore, and all of a sudden now in the Premier League, since Haaland's been back in the Premier League, it seems like every club now wants a number 9.
He's a great player. I remember when he went to Dortmund instead of United, I was gutted. The thing with Haaland is I can't see anyone who compares to him, because obviously I know that Manchester United are going to need a new striker. But the problem is I don't think there's anyone to equal Haaland. I think alongside Mbappe, you know, he's probably going to be the best young player in the world. So, you know, for United to find a number 9 who can get the goals that he gets, it seems impossible at the moment. I can't see anybody in the market right now who we can bring in who's of equal stature. It's going to be very, very hard to stop him, but if we can stop him in the next game on Saturday, probably win the game.
Well, we got a guy called the Butcher that plays centre back. Might, you know, get the rack of Lamb out, you know, butcher him down, take him out. Right, guys, in the chat on Monday, there's so many comments, but try and go through as much as you can go through. And then what we're going to do, guys, get your predicted 11 out. So the Man United predicted 11, because I know, I can guarantee you, I'm really sorry Nubbin's there, but I don't think there's a City fan there. There's normally Liverpool fans to troll us, but apparently they're in the mud, so they're not around anymore.
I want to say hi to Peter Kamara. Everyone give him a wave. Welcome to the channel. He said he's got no doubt on our guys. I'm sure that's doubt he's saying there. UK Strange saying, remember Ronaldo was doing too many tricks in his first season. Didn't work. He learned the league and became a monster. We have a player who can become that level in time. So we were referring to Anthony, obviously, when he was talking about that there. UK Strange again, I'm feeding you, UK. He said, we need to remember we're building a new team to compete with. So these players like Anthony, Sancho, Garnacho all need time to learn. Going back to Anthony again, Bill Badger saying, for F's sake, it's Anthony's first season. Given time, he'll be lethal. Boxer saying, Mahrez wishes he can spin the ball like Anthony. CALLULA, how you doing? Everyone give CALLULA a wave. She's saying Anthony needs more time. That's a good shout. We all agree there with that one there. Tyrone, Clueless says, welcome.
Thank you.
And our gaffer's on fire this season because we were talking about Ten Hag. That's the UK Exchange. Clueless saying, I would love some silverware from one of the cups and top 4. That would be an ideal thing. Column here is saying about, seen loads of tweets laughing about us for loaning Veg. Sorry. I really hope he comes on in the last 20 minutes and scores a winner. Ha ha ha! Evil laugh.
City hero, United hero, innit?
Weghorst scored only 2 goals for Burnley, but he had 25 chances. He'd get out of 5 games at United, so I predict a good loan for the big man. CALLULA again saying, I think Haaland, we're talking about Haaland now, the rest will be about Haaland. I think Haaland is what people want from the start, so credit to him. The issue City has is if they don't give him his trophies in Premier League, I think he will leave, she says. Bill Badger is saying Andy Cole scored 42 goals, scored 42 all competitions for the Barcodes, 34 in the league. Were they playing 42 games in a league back then?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Colin was saying Cole scored 34 goals in 40 matches for Newcastle in the first season. All right, so there you go. And Paul Tierney, how you doing? Go get Sesko, outbid Lightsfix. I thought they've already signed him, this guy. And Box is saying Nobbins is fearing the big man, Weghorst.
I'm sure he's quaking, all right.
To be fair, he scored my favourite goal of the World Cup.
Yeah, that's a beautiful move, wasn't it? The free kick you're referring to, is that right?
Mm-hmm. That's the one.
CALLULA saying here, give us a subscribe in the chat if you haven't already. 2 more from me, or maybe 3. Bale Badger saying, yes, Phil Turney, he's my choice, but I would want an older striker as well. Predicted 11. Oh, Colin, jumping the gun. We come back to that. Paul Turney saying, not fully completed through. I believe Matthew buy him down the line anyhow. Guys, you've thrown in your team already, so you know what's coming. People know what's coming, don't they?
Yeah. So before we know what's coming, let's go first to Nobbins and get his predicted lineup for Man City, who he believes will start.
Yeah, so it's a tricky one. Pep's been experimenting a lot recently. I don't know if anyone watched the game against Chelsea in the league. He changed his system about 3 or 4 times and changed the players like 3 or 4 times. So I don't really know what to predict. I'm going to go... Let's hope he goes back to basics after the awful Southampton performance. Ederson in goal. Cancelo on the left, Walker on the right. I don't think this is the game for Lewis against Rashford. Akanji and Laporte will play. Actually, no, Ake will play left back, I'll say. In the midfield, Rodri, De Bruyne, and Gundogan. And then I'm going to go Grealish, Mahrez, and Haaland. I don't think Foden will start. And Pep favours playing Grealish and Mahrez against the bigger sides where he wants to control the ball. So I do think it will be Grealish and Mahrez on the wings.
Thank you. You know what I'm loving at the moment, is because I'm seeing a lot of Freds out here at the moment, man. Oh, there's some Fred lovers now. Fred is back. Give him a new contract.
Against Division 1 outfits. Yeah, he looks good.
Fred is back. The true Fred is back. Right, let's go to my solo prediction here, guys. Have a look at that. Let's kickstart. Tyrone, as you're the guest, let's bring you on first. This lineup here, what do you think and who would you change?
That's the lineup that I would have gone with, to be honest. That's the lineup. If you'd asked me what the lineup was going to be before the match, I would have gone with this. It looks like a pretty good team. But I don't think he's going to start with Delo. I think he's going to go with Aaron Wan-Bissaka at right back instead.
Possibility, injury concern around Dalot. I'll put him in, but we're not sure yet. Also, guys, there is actually how can we put a 12th man in here as well, but you got to try and spot him, the 12th man in this team.
Yeah, we see him behind the manager.
Oh, come on, they got to look for it.
I'm on you. Come on,
you're spoiling it. What's it? So, right, I'm on there. Changes on this because what I can see in the comments here, there's a few people who's put Fred over Eriksen in there.
One thing I would say, look, it's really important. How do we beat City? We need to get one-on-ones with Rashford and Anthony, I imagine, and occupy that space that they leave. They leave void when they get forward and tuck into the midfield. And because they're so compact in midfield with their fullbacks tucking in inverted, I think if we can get situations where our centre-backs can ping the ball to Anthony and Rashford, as Maguire was the other day, and as
Here we
Martinez
go,
can
Maguire,
also
show
do.
me the river.
I think Maguire should play ahead of Varane in that respect, because he can get the ball out to these guys quicker with his 30, 40-yard pinging balls, and we get more one-on-one situations, because we can't play through the midfield with them. It's going to be very difficult. We tried that. You can get like 15, 20 minutes, but we can't even get the ball against City. And we could still, you know what I mean? It's really tough out there. So I think we need to have different options of how to hurt them. And I think one way to hurt them is to play that quick ball from the back, or if we had a better goalkeeper who could distribute the ball, that could be an option as well. This is where I say where we're getting hurt, because the goalkeeper can't distribute, and that's sort of as I was saying the other day, that we don't know our potential of what we can really do as a team. We're looking good right now, but if we're playing against a team like City where they can suffocate us, we need the outlet, we need distribution. So I think Maguire can provide that, Martinez can provide that, but Varane, you rarely see him pinging the ball crossfield. He's not got that in his locker, even though he's a great defender. So I want to see more one-on-one situations, sometimes play a bit long, bypass the midfield, because they dominate that area. Even though we've got Eriksen there, can play through an eye of the needle and play through the lines. I think we really need to look at our options and play better percentage balls.
Okay, Pat, you're going to agree with me, but you're going to put Fred in there, aren't you? We've been having a conversation on the WhatsApp group today, and I know you're going to put Fred in there, so please help me out.
Unfortunately, Fred's going to have to stay behind Eric Ten Hag, but I like your team. I'm happy with it. Shaw's playing well. Martinez is the man. Varane is fit. Delo, I would actually prefer Aaron Wan-Bissaka, because he's in form at the moment. He looks lively. He's working well with Anthony. And for a game like this, we need a more defensive-minded right back. Casemiro and Eriksen, I just can't speak highly enough of them. Bruno's a legend. Marcus Rashford's in flying form, and I hope that flying form will infect Anthony Martial, because he's been a bit slow and not at the races for the past couple of games.
Thank you. And Joao Felix been sent off for Chelsea. Just saying.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, just been
Injured for 4 weeks.
Diego Simeone was right.
Yeah, there you go. Bad attitude. So, right, let's go to Novins then. What player are you looking probably at the moment that will cause more of a threat to you?
To be honest, I think my sort of thoughts on this 11 you've gone for are very similar to my thoughts on the 11 you went for last time I was on. It's very similar. I think I don't think Casemiro was available, so you had McTominay. And at the time, I think I said Rashford's going to be the key threat, and I still think that is going to be the case. Wouldn't surprise me if Pep went with young Rico Lewis at right back, and him up against this informed Rashford could be a recipe for disaster. So I really hope that doesn't happen. What I would say about this team is, and I'm going to echo my same thoughts. When I was on here last time, I said that I would play McTominay and Fred in the midfield, because I think the 11 you went for was very brave, and I rated it, but I predicted that you would get overrun in the midfield, and that's exactly what happened at the Etihad. He did get overrun, and I commented on the weaknesses of Eriksen's defensive game, and at least 2 or maybe even 3 of those goals, Eriksen was suspect defensively and just not picking up players. And I know you've got Fred as the 12th man, but the change I would make is I would have him on the pitch. I think that I admire the bravery of playing Eriksen in the midfield. Maybe it'll work out for you, but I don't see United dominating City's midfield. So it might be seen as a more pragmatic defensive approach, but I think probably a better midfield might be Casemiro, Fred, and Bruno rather than Eriksen, just because I think that against City, Eriksen might be caught out once again as being a bit of a defensive liability. But that might not be the case. That's just my thoughts.
Thank you. Guys, get your score prediction now, because Amonde is going to quickly go through a few of these comments, and then we are going to get your score predictions in.
So Bill Badger saying Studs way up straight into the defender's shin, talking about Felix, because UK Strange saying he's glad he didn't get him. That's a really bad introduction to the Prem, isn't it? Got some teams here. Bill Badger saying Dave, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Varane, Butcher, Shaw. We've got Eriksen, Bruno, Casemiro, Anthony, Rashford, Nacho.
No Martial.
Colin is saying hope he's fit, though Wan-Bissaka has improved. That's our right back situation. Who's right back for UK Strange? It's De Gea, Delo, Varane, Martinez, Shaw, Fred, Casemiro, as Nobbies was saying, he's put Fred in. Bruno, Eriksen, Rashford, Anthony, and Weghorst. That's 12, isn't it?
We need a 12 man. He put Fred in, so made it 12.
Maybe they wouldn't notice if we played 12 players. We've got De Gea in goal with Column, Dalot, Varane, Martinez, Shaw, Casemiro, Fred, Eriksen, Rashford, Bruno, and Martial. There you go.
All right. So, guys, let's get your score predictions in now. There is some of them coming in. It's a few newbies. So let's kickstart first as the guest on the show. So, Nubbins, your score prediction, please, sir.
I see this being a relatively tight affair, but I saw the 6-3 being a tight affair. City aren't playing that well. United are playing quite well. I think City will dominate the ball. I'm going to go 1-1.
Ooh. Wow, okay.
I was going to say 2-1, but I reeled it in.
Pat, score prediction?
2-1, Manchester United.
Ooh. Tyrone, newbie?
3-1 to United.
Oh, brave man. That's my score prediction normally. On Monday?
Game's kicking off at 12:30. Lazy, just getting out of bed. 0-0.
Oh, Monday, you wet blanket.
Oh, Monday.
That's probably the most accurate one, to be honest.
Yeah, for me, I don't like United playing midday games. I hate lunchtime kickoffs. So we never fare very well in them. Over history has shown we don't fare very well in those lunchtime kickoffs. But I'm going to go for a very high scoring game, though. And I'm going to go for Manchester United to beat Man City 3-2.
Tasty.
That's what I'm going for. That will be a game. Amanda, would you mind going through some of these comments, please? The scores.
I'm going through the score lines because UK Strange saying 2-1 to who? Must be United. I want to say hi to Fenny. I'm no good with my PHs, but he's saying 3-1 to Manchester United. Does anyone know Fenny? Big up to Fenny. Welcome.
Big up. Welcome.
UK Strange saying 2-1 to Manchester United. He doubled that up, said it twice.
I love Stumpy though. Stumpy's score
Stumpy
always
with his
brilliant.
famous 1950s score. He's saying Man United 78, City 4. Oh dear. Bill Badger is saying here, I'm with my man Paddy. Martial's not good enough long term. Talk about a striker situation. 4-1, says Vincent, to Manchester United. And we got score prediction here, lineup. Boxer saying De Gea, Fred, Varane.
Fred.
He's not saying Fred. Who do you mean Fred? Right.
He has 4 Freds in the team.
He's got 4 Freds.
Exactly.
Oh, right. Okay.
Exactly.
I'm cutting out of this, man. This is getting infectious. I don't want to get infected.
All
with
right.
this
New digital word, Amandi.
Yeah, big up to New Digital World. Give him a wave. How you doing, man? He's
Big up,
saying
welcome.
3-1 to Man United. So really confident again, as we were last time before we played City.
Yeah, very confident. But let's hope this time round we go in. Listen, right now I'll take a draw, but I've got to go sort of and think we can actually. Oh, look at that column.
4-3.
Big score, isn't it?
Old.
Wow.
That's some
4-3.
big scores. Yeah, some huge scores.
Can I just add one point?
Go on.
Look, with the situation where it's at, it wouldn't be too bad if we do drop points, get a draw, or if we lose for either team, because the season's got a long way to go. And I'm not trying to sort of say, make excuses now. But when I look at it, we've done so well. We've gone on a run. We might drop some points. We might lose the game. It doesn't matter. We can still pick it up. We've got to play Arsenal next and other teams, so we get the momentum going again. We're really doing well at the moment. So this is the measuring stick, because City have been the team of the decade. This is the measuring stick. We can really gauge how we're doing against this great team and how far the guys come. So let's have a look on the Saturday afternoon.
Let's go. Nobbins, where can these beautiful people find you?
I've got a YouTube channel. If you like football content, then you might like it. It's called El Nobbins FC. I do sort of I attempt to do a deep dive analysis, as well as sort of like more standard football videos. For example, the next video that I'm working on my channel will be a deep dive analysis into why England's golden generation failed.
Oh, on Monday's sign.
Can I just say, guys, this is serious real talk now. If you love football, go and check out Nobbins, man, because like he's saying, he does go deep into it. Football is a great game. We love talking it, but if you can put your head down the rabbit hole, go and put it down Nobbins rabbit hole and have a look.
I'm not that
I've
sort of
been
girl,
there,
OMONDI.
and it's just pure football love. And I know Tyrone loves his football, I know Pat loves football. Errol, guys, go and check him out. Go while you're there now, subscribe to the channel and check him out because honestly, it's top draw.
Thank you. Tyrone, you don't really have social, do you? So there's no point in me. But we got to say welcome to the channel, mate. Welcome. You're always in the comments and things like that. Tyrone's been we've known Tyrone for years, going back, way back. Way back, and it is so nice having you on the channel. We've been trying to get you on for a very long time, and this is a time now where you haven't been that busy and you actually finally made it. So we've got to say a big up welcome to the channel, Tyrone. People in chat, this is Tyrone. You're welcome. This is Tyrone that's normally in here.
Guys, have a look at Tyrone. He's like this. He's made himself well at home. You know, that just shows the class of the man. And I do know, look, me and Tyrone go way back as well. And I really respect Tyrone's opinion on football. Like he said earlier in the show, he's been really honest, brutally honest sometimes with the way where we're at. And I've had to sort of, you know, turn my head and agree with him at times because I'm trying to be enthusiastic and positive. But he's been real. And guys, you'd love to see him back on the show. Welcome, Tyrone, man. It's lovely having you on here, bro.
No, we've had some dark times over the years. Honestly, it's been hard, man. It's been really hard, especially towards the end when everyone was wanting him sacked. It was horrible.
Yeah.
And I couldn't be too harsh because he's a club legend, but it was really bad. Really bad.
Really? Yeah.
I agree to her. I got called deluded many a time sticking up for Ollie. I just didn't want to slate him because we all loved the man so much. Now it was a shame. It was a shame you had a bit of a technical problem tonight. We can't wait to get you on again, man.
Yeah, brilliant.
Oh, thank you,
guys.
thank you so much. Honestly,
you're welcome, guys. From us tonight, we'd like to say Solo, OMONDI, Tyrone, Pat, and Nubbins. Guys, thank you all.
Don't forget, the Man United agenda goes on and on. We're doing a show at 9:35, guys. So get yourself a cup of tea. Come and join us because we'll be talking about our new signing, Weghorst, and our other transfer news. That's myself, Rebel, and Colin. So join us.
And if I'm right to say, you guys doing a membership show as well, apparently, what I've been told by Rebel. You are doing a 5-10 minute, apparently.
If Rebel says that, then it must be true.
Yep, there is a so if you are a member, Rebel, sorry, but I swear we had a conversation about it today. Wink, wink. There will be a membership show. So if you're a member, you will see that show. If you're not a member, you won't get to see what they're doing afterwards as well. So from us, guys, good night. Have a lovely evening and come on, United.
Let's go.